Hey guys, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, April 14th. It is 2:06 right now. Scheduled mentoring session is with Jarrell for today, right now specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and finish setting this up real quick. And then once this is all set up, I will get Jarrell on this session. So if you guys want to sit in and watch, feel free. I'm not going to be answering any outside questions, basically one-on-one with Jarrell for today. Let me get this link sent over to Jerome.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Jerome? Can you hear me?
How you doing, Sean? Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm good, bro. How's everything with you?
Good. I just got back from SoCal at 3 a.m. last night. So
No
I'm trying
way.
to,
You guys drive?
yeah, we drove. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Went to go visit your brother?
What happened?
Went to go visit your brother?
No, he was busy. He was out in Big Bear, so I couldn't really see him. So I was just around like downtown LA and hanging with my friends over there.
Oh, nice. Like nice little weekend trip.
Yeah, nice little weekend trip. Yeah. But I think we're going again Friday night, so we might go again.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fun.
How long is the drive for you? It's like what, like 8 hours or less?
Five, 5 hours.
It's actually not that bad. I always feel like going to the Bay Area from here. Oh, I guess because I'm in Orange County, so maybe it's like another hour or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess to LA it's not so bad, huh?
Uh-huh. I do want to go to OC because I was in like Melrose area and like downtown LA. Like I was around that area. But I want to go to OC this weekend.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, it's different down. You've been down, or your cousin lives down here, right?
Yeah, and I want to go to because I've gone to Irvine Spectrum. I've gone around Irvine a couple of times. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was just walking around, but the weather was nice this weekend. So
Yeah, it was. It was pretty warm, huh?
yeah, it was really warm, but it was like gloomy in the morning. So I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bay Area weather.
Yeah.
Well, this week for sure. Like it was like last week. The weekend was nice, but then like during the week, it's like been super chilly. It's like weird weather.
Yeah. Not bad though. But I did end up I was paper trading throughout the week before I left. But it was good. You know what I do need to work like when and when to enter and when to enter late because I feel like I just kind of guess.
Yeah.
I think that's what I struggle with and like where to put the
Stop loss.
yeah, where to put the stop loss like because I don't know where exactly like to put it and like sometimes it wouldn't get me out so I'd have had to get out by myself like manually.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's tricky. I well, last week for sure was tricky. I mean, honestly, I feel like nobody really knew what's like. It's hard for them to really gauge because
Yeah.
HR was all over the place. It was like it would start at like 40, and it go to like 70 and 80 and 100. It's like, yeah, it moves so quickly that like you don't know exactly where to set it, you know?
Mhm.
Versus today, did you trade today this morning? Or are you
No,
talking?
today no. I'm like I tried to wake up for my alarm, but I was too tired.
Yeah, it's all good. You got home like at 3, so you would have had like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, but I will tomorrow morning for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I was just gonna say because today, this morning, it was actually a lot more smoother. So the ATR was like around 60 pretty much most of the day.
Hmm.
So it's a little like it's kind of averaging out now. Like normally be around like 30 to
Hmm.
40, and then now it's like sitting around 60. So that's like a good sign because it's showing that the
Uh-huh.
market is like stabilizing and it's going back to how it should be moving.
Mhm.
So today was actually pretty decent. We took one trade like all together with
Yeah.
myself, and that trade won. And there's like a couple others. Let me see. I think I have them here on my chart. Yeah, so like we had a couple entries over here.
Hmm.
There was like these three basically during the live session. Like this one came up, but then the market was kind of crazy here on opens. We're like, oh, we're gonna chill out for a little bit, but it did hit.
Hmm.
So the volatility was a little higher. And
Yeah.
then there was another sell entry that came up right here. This is the one that we took actually.
Mhm.
This was an entry for MPS, and then this one's also at 60. So like you can see like the TP stop losses are kind of like set at 60 now.
Yeah.
You have to like kind of guess, like you said, trying to figure out where you're to place your TP stop loss.
Mhm.
Eventually, we're gonna have a like an actual average where I'm like, okay, we're just gonna use 60 for pretty much every trade.
Mhm.
But we're gonna have to see how this week kind of plays through.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, I mean, there's a couple entries that came up here, and there's three of them that came back to back. This one hit that we took, and then this one over here was like a tricky entry. It was
Yeah.
so let me just go back, I'll replay it. So the weird thing with today is like we had these candles that would like they wouldn't close at the momentum. You know, you have to wait for it to close above the line here.
Yeah.
Like it would kind of push close to it and then it would just not close, or it would push up to it and then it would gap and it would end up closing above here. So if you look at the next candle, like see how like this one closed below here, but it actually opened up here.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little tricky like how the market was moving because it wasn't super consistent
Mhm.
um, with regards to like the closes because it was always closing super close to like whether it's an entry or not.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping this is it's gonna be a little more smoother tomorrow. But for the most part, if it stays this way, it's gonna be easier for you to like practice a little more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think tomorrow, I think I'm gonna use an actual account because I'm not gonna lie, like I was using the paper trading account and I was doing good. I took a couple of trades like by myself just to try it out and ended up hitting. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just try it. So I think I'm gonna use the account tomorrow.
yeah. If you feel confident with like entering the trade, like I think the main thing that you're going to be using the paper account for is really just understanding how to get into the trade, right? Because like once you
Mhm.
get into the trade, then you're fine. As long as you're not over leveraging and risking too much, I mean, your actual account would be perfectly fine because you're probably going to be taking less risk anyways. So
Mhm.
it's not like you're going to be risking a whole bunch. Do you know which contract size you're using right now? Probably just one, right?
Yeah, I think just one. So how do I decide like what contracts I'm using? Like how can you tell?
It kind of depends on like on you. So like let's see, what size is your account?
50?
50K. So I think your max drawdown or do you know what your max drawdown is on that? 2000
Uh,
or less.
let me
50,000.
check. Let me check. Give me 1 second.
You're on Apex, right?
Yeah, Apex, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I can pull it up too. Yeah, 2,500. So 2,500 is your max, divided by three, typically. Okay, so this is about how much you want to risk at max. So like at max, you want to risk 833 per trade. This gives you three opportunities to like lose basically. If you lose more than three times, then the account may be blown, but that's why you want to stay below that. So let's see. If you're gonna do 60 point TP stop loss, which is kind of the average what I'm looking at right now,
Mhm.
if you're doing one contract, you're gonna risk 300. So that's pretty low. I mean, you're
Mhm.
gonna be in the range. It's gonna take you a little longer to pass, but at least your account's gonna be safe.
Mhm.
If you do two contracts, you're gonna do 600 risk, which is more on the like this is the moderate side. If you want to risk like a decent amount but not risk too much, two
Mhm.
contracts is probably gonna be the number. This is only like on trades that you think are good though. Like this
Okay.
isn't play around with, right? If you're playing around and go on one contract, because if you mess up on this trade, it's okay. Like you're gonna make a loss and then you'll make it back on the next one.
Mhm.
But when you do 600, there's a little bit more risk involved, of course, because I think this is where it becomes, yeah, because once you go to three contracts, it goes past the limit. You should never go to three contracts.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
will be risking 900, and you shouldn't be risking more than 833 per trade.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, it's just like really just bringing it down to like the math number, right? So like you
Mhm.
you want to if the trade is like an okay trade, probably do one contract. If the trade you feel really comfortable and you're like, oh, this is for sure gonna hit, or if it's something that I'm analyzing and I'm like, I'm for sure gonna take this,
Mhm.
and then you hear somebody else in the chat and they're like, oh, I'm gonna take this too, then it's probably gonna be a good trade if like a lot of people are planning on taking it. So if that's the case, you can bump it up to two and you'll go for 600. So again, the math here. So in order for you to pass, you would need to make 3,000, right?
Mhm.
So 3,000 divided by 600. You basically need five winning trades. If you do five winning trades, then you'll pass the
Mhm.
eval.
And that's just two contracts each one though, correct?
Exactly, two
Okay.
contracts. And then if you do one contract, um, yeah, if you do one contract, I think it just bumps it up to a little more. So like 3,000 divided by, it's gonna be 10 trades.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can see it's a difference. It's gonna take you twice as long, but then you're not gonna blow the account. But if you
Yeah,
kind
you're
of,
more safe.
yeah, you're more safe. So I would say since this is your first account, there's like really no rush.
Mhm.
Last thing you want to do is like make a lot of mistakes and then takes you even longer to pass it.
Yeah.
But if you feel confident, then just bump it up to two contracts. I think two contracts is going to be like for your good trades,
Yeah.
and one contract for like I'd say little riskier trades if that's what you're aiming
Mhm.
for.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
and I also seen I seen what you said in the Discord too. So I seen all that and
Oh
so
yeah.
every yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case too, like if you want to do what I'm doing, like I have my contract size. So instead of doing two contracts, you would just do one contract per trade. But you could take like two entries, right?
Yeah.
So if you take two entries, you can basically add up to 600. So it's basically like you're still gonna reach that goal of like five trades.
Mhm.
You're gonna be aiming for like two trades per day.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because right now, like like we talked about earlier, the ATR like last week was so crazy, bro. It's like it's really hard to gauge, but now that the market is kind of sitting around a certain ATR, let me see where the ATR was earlier this morning. So let's see, we got off at 8. So let me just see where it was at like 12. I'm gonna replay it to 12.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the ATR starts to like slow down. See, it's back to 30 now.
Mhm. Also,
So
that's okay, okay.
yeah,
Earlier it was at 60, you said?
it was at 60. So let's go to like to 11 o'clock. Yeah, see how the ATR stays between like 30 and 60. So
Mhm.
like that's cool because if it stays around that range, then you're not really going to be risking too much, because it's not like you're not going from like 30 to 100, you're going from like 30 to 60. So it's like just a few
Mhm.
points difference. Let's go back to like 10 o'clock. Yeah, so over here you can see the volatility is a lot higher, right? So it's like 60.
Uh-huh.
So this is like when we were trading, basically from market open up until like 10 o'clock, it was like around 60. And then as we got later into the session, it started to stabilize to like normal. So like it went all the way down to like closer to the 30 range.
Mhm.
So this is how the market normally is,
Uh-huh.
on a regular market. But yeah, the volatility is still a little bit higher. It's a little bit higher, but it's like it's more consistent to the point where it's not like ranging between like a super small candle and then jumping up to like a 100-point candle. It's
Yeah.
also kind of just being more consistent around 60. Because if it's gonna stay around 60 the whole time, like between our live trading time, like 6:30 to 8, then
Mhm.
you can just have a fixed TP stop loss at 60. And if you need to make small adjustments, like say for example, if it goes between 50 and 60, it's a lot easier to just adjust your TP stop loss while it's active.
Mhm.
It's only a 10-point difference versus like say for example, you go in for like 100, and then all of a sudden the ATR drops to like 50 and you're like crap. Now you got to cut it down a whole bunch.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot better this week compared to last week because last week I think I seen like a couple candles that just like blew up like under like 30 seconds, and I was like, yo, it's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Another like last week was, if you looked at the news articles and stuff, like everyone, like literally all the analysts and everybody in the world was like, this is like the craziest market they've ever seen. Like they've never seen a market like this before.
Mhm.
And like normally, like when we're in a market that's like really either bullish where it's like climbing up very high or it's dropping and it's crashing, it just
Mhm.
goes in one direction, right? So like you see price just go up and you're like, okay, cool, I just keep buying, all right. If price keeps going down, you just keep selling. But the
Mhm.
market last week, it was like it would dump a whole bunch and then it would come all the way back up. And then
Yeah, that's what I seen. And I remember you were saying like you don't like staying in a trade too long because it turned into like day trading. And then like I was like, yeah, it was lasting like 5 minutes. And I was like, it's crazy.
I know, yeah, because it usually hits like right away. And the problem was with the ATR, right? Because like you go in with like 100 TP stop loss, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden, as soon as you get in your position, it just goes flat. And then you're like, crap, I'm in this position. And it just goes against the strategy because the strategy is meant to begin. You're supposed to get in and out very quickly within like the first couple minutes.
Mhm.
But when the ATR is like changing so much, you kind of get trapped in a position because like you'll get into something like, say, for example, here, just say that there's a sell here. And then, say for example, you go in and it's like 100, but then it starts to go kind of flat and you're like, crap. At this point, now it's like you don't know where price is going to go because
Yeah.
because you had an idea where it was gonna go like on the next two candles. But
Hmm.
once you're in there for like 5, 10 minutes, you're like, oh, okay, crap. Is it still gonna keep coming down or is it gonna reverse on me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like what it's now like 50-50. I think it was one of the trades. I think that I watched. I think four out of the five hit, and then you took the one that didn't hit. It was the one that was on the bottom. It was a sell.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and then
Last week was so annoying.
I think that was yeah, it was like a weird like the way it kept going up and down, and I was like, no way.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was just really unlucky last week. If you looked at the trades that came up, there were like everything was hitting. It was like I picked the one that lost though, like the one out of like the 10 that would lose for the day.
Uh-huh.
And that's why like I figured, okay, I should just lower my risk. And then so if I lose one trade and I win the next one, it goes back to break even. And
Hmm.
if I win the next one after that, it'll go back into profit. So
Hmm.
it's just, it's just adapting with the market. Like before it was easier to kind of pinpoint what was a really good entry and
Yeah.
just wait for that one. Um, Last week it was just so unpredictable. It's like you could be in a position and you could look really good, but then Trump will tweet something or post something online and it's like market goes complete opposite.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happened with me on Monday, I think. Like I took a sell and then like it just rallied like 3,000 points on like the next candle. I was like, fuck, like this is super, super unrealistic.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Last week was crazy because it was like my first week, like actually like like paper trading, and I'm not gonna. I was trying to keep up to what everybody was saying and what you're doing, so I was looking like back and forth, and I was like trying to adapt to everything.
Yeah, yeah. Is it starting to make sense now? Like when you go on the live session, do you understand like what we're talking about?
Yeah, I just more like paying attention before I actually like enter a trade because I want to see it. Like I would watch a couple of trades because I wouldn't enter the first few because I wanted to like see so I could like understand it the way you guys are explaining it too. So
Yeah, exactly. And then that's the good thing. Like that's the whole point of this mentorship and like with you learning is like over time you're gonna start to catch the lingo and it's just gonna make sense because in the future you're gonna have like your own analysis, right? And then if your
mhm,
analysis lines up with mine, like if you see other people in the group, they'll call stuff out. Like they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna take the sell that closes below this price point. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, this looks like an MPSV2. So like both of our analysis align and they feel confident about taking their position. Probably same with
mhm,
you, like, you kind of have an idea, like you want to take a buy or a sell. And then when I say something like, okay, this is gonna, if this closes above the momentum or whatever, or if this closes above this line, then I'm gonna take it too. That usually gives you confidence, like, okay, I'm gonna take this entry because Sean's gonna take it, and if his analysis lines up with mine, then it's usually gonna play through.
mhm. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Can we go over like the stop loss and like how like when to enter? Because I know you mentioned before like there's a timer, so I'll look at the timer and then like I just don't know when to enter. I just like kind of guess.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So there's no timer right now because market's closed. It
Hmm.
closes for an hour between like 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
Hmm.
But basically, I'm looking at the timer, and then say for example, we have a timer over here, right? And then it
Hmm.
counts down because every candle it starts over at like 60. So like
Hmm.
when the candle closes, it goes back to 60. I usually wait until it counts down until like the last 10 seconds, and then as soon as it hits one or like, it goes down to one, that's usually where I'm gonna hit the entry. So like
Hmm.
if it goes down to one, I'll hit my buy market or sell market, and that's
Hmm.
usually where I get in, like immediately on close. I don't get in early, I don't get in late. I get in like as soon as that candle closes.
Okay, so you would recommend like the last 10 seconds or less?
Or just pay attention to the last 10 seconds. And then once it gets down to the 1 second mark, that's where I hit my buy or my sell.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because I already modified everything. You just got to click it.
Exactly. Yeah. So like what happens is I'll put like, I'll have the ticket window open. Like for you, for example, if you're taking a sell here, you just have
Hmm.
your ticket window open. Once it's ready, you're just waiting for that countdown. As soon as it drops to like the 1 second mark, you just hit sell and you're in the position.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. You just want to have everything set up, like pretty much preset, and then hit sell and then or buy, and then that's kind of where you just at that point it's just a waiting game, right? You just wait
Mhm.
for it to hit your TP or your stop loss.
Okay. And then where do you put the stop losses at? Like, do you put it on the bar or like the like right next to it?
What do you mean? So
Okay,
it's
so like when it say it's like a cell, and then like how like I don't know where to put the box or like the how it's like where you
oh,
see
you're talking about the projection tool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know where to put
Yeah.
it, so I kind of just like guess, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say, for example, like, I mean, the market's kind of dead right here, but we'll just use the sell, for example, right? So, like, say, for example, you got into a position. There's a sell right here. So this is an MPSV2, right? We have a sell signal, retracement, confirmation.
Mhm.
Once you have this set up right here, usually as soon as you enter that position, it'll say something like, or you'll enter and it'll be like, your entry is going to be like right here, right? This is kind of like where it has your active position. It'll say like how much money you're up, like plus 20 or whatever, right? That's what it looks like when you get in. Like if you were to enter a sell right here, you'd enter and then a line comes up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so line comes up and then it automatically plots your TP stop loss, right? So you're gonna have like your stop loss up here, and then you'll have your TP like somewhere down here.
Mhm. Okay. So you just put it like right there. The
Oh, so when you want to set up your forecasting, it has
yeah.
to be open of this candle. So say for example, where it's not gonna look like this, or actually, yeah, it will look like this. So we'll go from right here for the next candle. So your entry is supposed to happen like right here.
Mhm.
So wherever this candle closes, that's where your entry is supposed to be. So that's where you forecast it at. So your forecasting tool will be right there. And then say, for example, if you're doing 60-60, it's not always going to be exact, right? Because it depends on where you make your entry. Some, like you said, sometimes you enter late, sometimes you enter early.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'll be like a little off by like 1 point. It'll be like kind
Yeah.
of this. So what you want to do is you just want to make your adjustment. So for example, if this is a setup, like this is where your TP stop loss should be. So if it says
Mhm.
like your profit target's at 45.88,
Mhm.
you just double click on your your trade there, and then you just change it to that so it lines up with it perfectly.
Okay. 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 Then yeah, that's what I was like struggling with this past week because I would kind of just guess and just put it like the best, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can put it so like it's supposed to be right there where the candle closes, or sometimes you can put it like where this candle opens.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of it's only going to be off by like maybe a point or so. It shouldn't be super off.
Mhm.
So either way, wherever you place it, you should be able to get out where you're supposed to as long as it's based off the ATR. Like for
Mhm.
example, right here, the ATR is actually 26, so I wouldn't do a 60-60 here. I probably would do a 30-30.
Mhm.
And then you can see it like it usually almost like
Oh, I see
80,
what you mean. Yeah.
right? Because like so in a lot of instances, you probably don't even have time to make those adjustments.
Mhm.
If you're gonna enter there, and then as soon as you enter, it's probably gonna hit your TP already before you can even make those adjustments.
Mhm.
Because you're planning on it hitting within like the first two panels, right? So like
Yeah.
typically, unless it starts to go back and forth, like say for example, if it does this and it kind of pulls back a little bit for whatever
Mhm.
reason, it doesn't close you out, then in a situation like that, yeah, you can make your adjustments. Most
Mhm.
of the time, I don't even make the adjustments because I just don't, you just don't have time because it's going to happen within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
as long as your entry's okay, you should be fine. I mean, it might be off by a little bit, but most of the time, it's not going to be super off. But I'd be off by like maybe 1 or 2 points.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's I
yeah,
understand it.
yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
your forecast tool is supposed to be like on the close of the entry candle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tomorrow I'm gonna be more comfortable doing that because I was just gonna wait till today because last week I was like, oh, I need to ask Sean like where's the best position to put it, but I
Mhm.
was just gonna wait till today, but I get it.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. So like basically what you can do is you can just so as soon as this candle closes, right? Because this is the entry candle.
Mhm.
You just gotta remember you gotta focus on like what the entry candle is because this right here is a sell momentum, this is a retracement, and this candle right here is the entry candle, right?
Mhm.
So for the requirement, it says to enter on the close of the confirmation candle. So your entry is going to be right at here. So if you just want to draw a line, you can use the horizontal tool and you can use the magnet tool. So it magnetizes like it goes right to that line.
Uh-huh.
And that's where you can see where your entry is going to be at. Because now that
Oh, okay, that's how I need to do the magnet tool. I feel like that would help me even more.
yeah, because if you just draw it yourself, like like you said, you kind of just put it randomly. You might
Mhm.
put it like it might not be close enough, but if you use the magnet tool here, like so again, you just click on this magnet here. If you click on the magnet tool, it's going to latch to either the body or the wick.
Mhm.
So even if you like kind of screw up, you click down here, like see how I'm like below the body,
Yeah.
it's still going to latch to the body.
Okay, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I seen on the on Zoom, like when we were training. I was watching, I was like, how come I don't have that line that you have? And but I see how you did it now. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
and I do it super fast, so like a lot of people don't really notice how I do it. There's a shortcut for it too. Like if you don't want to click on the magnet tool, you can just hold command
Mhm.
and then you can click on there. That's usually how I do it.
Okay, okay.
It's up to you. If you want to click on it, I mean, it's just up to you, right? It's just by preference.
Mhm.
Like in the morning when I'm marking up liquidity, I will use the magnet tool so I don't have to like hold command every time.
Mhm.
But you're on a Mac, right?
Yeah, I'm on no, I'm on a PC.
Oh, PC. It might be control then, because I'm on a
Yeah.
Mac with command, but command is the same thing as control on PC.
Mhm.
And you
But
can that's
when
it.
I do switch over to like, because I have a MacBook also, so say I would have to do Ninja Trader on there,
Uh,
or I can
so
still use TradingView.
you can still use TradingView. The only time you would use NinjaTrader is if you're going to be using a copier,
Mhm.
because that's the only way to use a copier through NinjaTrader. I mean, there's different ways to run NinjaTrader on. You can also run it on Mac. It's just for me personally, I don't like doing that.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if you're familiar with Boot Camp.
No, not really.
Yeah, so Boot Camp is like basically you can run a Windows on a Mac.
Mhm.
It's like a basically like a digital. It's like a different like you're basically running a Windows and then Mac side by side.
Uh-huh.
Kind of
Okay.
like parallels. Have you heard of parallels?
No.
Yeah. I mean, you probably don't want to. You probably don't care to use it anyway. So there's honestly, I don't
Yeah.
I don't use it because it's so glitchy.
Yeah.
I get worried because I'm like, okay, if this thing glitches on me and I'm like in a position, I'm kind of screwed, right? So
Mhm.
I would just stick to if you have a PC or a laptop or a PC laptop, then I would just keep that for Ninja. Like for
Mhm.
me, I have like two laptops right here on my left side, and that's just to execute off my Ninja Trader. But
Mhm.
if I didn't need to do this, and if I was only trading one account like you, I would just trade directly on TradingView. It's so easy, right? You just kind of
Yeah.
off the fly. Yeah. So yeah, in the future, I mean, that's like, once you cross that bridge, like once you have to like trade multiple accounts,
Yeah.
um, then in that situation, yes, you'd probably want to use a PC laptop. I just like Macs because Macs are just easy to use for
Mhm.
me personally. Like, and especially if you're traveling, I just carry two laptops with me. I have my MacBook Pro that I use for doing my analysis, and then I always bring my gaming laptop just to execute trades.
Uh-huh. Oh, so you bring two every time?
Yeah, like so like when I was in Cabo like a couple weeks ago, I brought my MacBook Pro, which was like my main screen where I did all my analysis and I
Mhm.
was like streaming Zoom and stuff.
Yeah.
And a separate laptop where I was just entering on Ninja Trader. So I was just hitting buy or sell on that.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then I have an extra screen that I carry with me as well, like a travel screen.
Okay, yeah. Probably in the near future.
Yeah.
I'll for sure get into that.
Yeah, it's not necessary right now. I mean, because you're only trading one account, right? So like
Yeah.
in the future, yeah, you can well, you already have a MacBook, so you have a laptop too, or no? Like a PC laptop?
Oh no, I just have a PC and a MacBook.
Okay, yeah. So like in the future, like when you plan on trading multiple accounts, then you can always just buy like a decent gaming laptop. That's what I did. And I just use that for Ninja Trader to execute trades. Like I have nothing else open on it. It's literally
Mhm.
just Ninja Trader. And you know how you click like buy or sell like on here?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but I do it on the PC. I have two mouses. So I have one mouse for my laptop and I have one mouse for my Mac.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me see. I also see that you have different screens for like there's an hour and then you do the 30-minute one. So how do you like decide like what to look at?
Well, I look at all of them. So like I don't really put weight on like one or the other.
Mhm.
Uh yeah, so I have these set up like this. So I have the 1 minute. This is just for market profile. So for market profile, I
Mhm.
have 1 minute, I have the 30 minute, and I have 1 hour.
Mhm.
There's no specific weight to either of them. I'm just using these as like confluences. So like for example, if I have like a bottom rejection, there's no bottom rejection here, but if there was a bottom rejection, and this is kind of what goes hand in hand with the entry for today. Like today, for my sell entry, we had a confluence on pretty much every time frame.
Uh-huh.
So we had a top rejection here, we had a top rejection right here, we had a top rejection here. It's basically just confluences. So like if obviously the more confluences you have, the
Yeah.
better.
Uh-huh.
because the thing that I'm using these confluences for is that I'm looking because the thing is these are all like all these different time frames and all these different charts. These are like different types of analysis. So
Mhm.
like some people like to trade on the 1 minute like us. That's what we're trading on, right? So like this gives us confluence off the 1 minute. And then there's some people who like to trade on the higher time frames, like say the 30 minute, and that just gives you another confluence. So you're kind of getting confirmations on like different time frames
Yeah.
because obviously, if everybody's looking in one direction or if like there's confluences on the lower time frames and the higher time frames that price is going to go in a certain direction, the odds of your trader of if your trade working is very likely, right?
Mhm.
So like these are just different strategy types, but I'm not using them as strategy. I'm using them mainly as just a confluence. So like some
Yeah.
people trade on 1 minute, and I'm just like, okay, if this checks off, then I'm like, all right, that's one confluence. If it's rejecting off the 30 minute, then that's another confluence. If it's rejecting off the 1 hour, that's three confluences, right? We
Mhm.
have projection off the volume profile, and these are all different. So market profile identifies like where the market structure is.
Yeah. So you're
Volume
just basically like checking your work like before you go in.
Exactly. Yeah. So I already have, we're already following a strategy. So our main concept here is to look at the strategy, right? So we're mainly just looking for an NPSV2,
Mhm.
but then I'm looking at the confluences here to confirm like how good is that NPS2, right? Like is
Mhm.
it an okay NPSV2 or is it like a really good one where like everybody's looking for sells on different strategies? So like my entry is probably gonna work because everybody's like identifying that price has to come down. Because that's what we're looking for. We're really just looking for a small little window of price movement to confirm
Mhm.
that like price is going to go in your direction at least for like a sec or at least for a minute or two, right? Because that's all we're looking for. We're looking for one or two candles for price to push in our direction. So if we have
Yeah.
all these confluences here, it gives us more confidence that okay, price is going to at least push, our 60 points or 30 points or whatever the ATR is, so that we can hit our TP right away.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you want to set yours up like mine, I mean, I can show you how to do that. It's just up to you because at this point, it probably would be beneficial to you because you already have the foundation.
Mhm.
Initially, like when we first met for the first 2 weeks, I was like, okay, I want to make sure that you actually understand the strategy before you start kind of like overwhelming yourself with all these confluences.
Uh-huh.
But if you feel comfortable with like following and understanding where the entries are now, then at this point you could probably add the confluences if you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it. But let's share your screen and I'll show you how to set it up so that you know how to do it.
Okay. Let me allow. Wait, oh wait, oh, this one. Okay.
Which which trading view plan do you have? You have the middle one, right?
Wait, which one? Sorry.
Which trading view plan do you have? You have the
The
ascent.
middle one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah, because I just want to make sure so that you can have like all the windows open. I think if you have the cheapest one, like the free one, it doesn't
Mhm.
let you open that many windows.
Uh-huh. No, I think I got the damn, I forgot what plan it was.
It's
But I
all
think
good.
it was the middle one, I think.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, if it asks you to upgrade, you can upgrade if you want, but if not, no, I think you do have the middle one because you have all the indicators on your chart, so you should be good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over to here, let me maximize your screen over here. All right, so let's go over to is this are you on the browser or you have the actual app?
I have the app. I could go on the browser.
No, 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 that's perfect. Yeah, the
Okay.
app's better because you can have tabs on here. So right there where it says main chart,
Uh-huh.
click the drop down and then let's create a new layout. All right, there's a button there that says create new layout.
Oh, oh, okay.
There you go. And then we'll call this you could put market profile 1 minute or 1M so you know which one what's it for. Or you can even if you want to abbreviate and just put MP1M, you can do that too.
Oh,
It's
okay, okay, okay.
just so you like because you can see it, it's not
One P. Oh wait.
yeah,
One P.
MP. Yeah, MP1M.
Oh, MP one M.
That'll stand for market profile 1 minute. There you go.
Okay.
So perfect. You have a second tab there. Okay, so let's go over and let's go to your indicators on the top left And or actually let's go right there where it says volume. Let's delete that because you're not going to use that one.
Mhm. Wait, where is that?
It's
Where
gonna
I
be
go?
right below where it says sell.
Uh-huh.
And let's trash that. All right, let's go to your indicators and then go to that search box, type in TPO. Right there, time price opportunity, click on that.
I gotta upgrade it.
Oh, see, this is probably gonna require that you upgrade it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you don't need to, but if you want,
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay.
yeah, because right now it's kind of like, to be honest, it's kind of overkill because you're trading with me on the live session and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be analyzing it for you anyways.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's super necessary. If you want to, by all means,
Yeah. Nah, I'll probably just watch it through your screen.
yeah, because it's kind of pointless right now, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're basically gonna be confirming what I'm already confirming.
Hmm.
So there's just no need for you
Hmm.
to upgrade to it. But yeah, in the future, when you want to, we can set this up for you. Okay,
Okay, perfect.
let's set up a different one though. So let's
Okay.
close that one. Type in let me see where this is at. Okay, now type in VRVP. I don't know if you might need to upgrade for this one too. There you go, first one. Okay, perfect. So you could do this one. So for this one right here, let's go to your settings.
Setting. Where is the settings?
It's gonna be right there where it says VRPR or
VRPR. Oh, right
VRVP.
here. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, go to your settings right there. Let's go to inputs. For row size, put 1,000, and then go to style. Take off the volume profile on the top, the first, uncheck that one. And then let's see right there where it says VAH. Click on that. Let's color that red for the box. Yeah. VAH stands for value high.
Mhm.
Basically, whenever price is up there, it means that price is overpriced, and
Mhm.
then it's likely to sell off from that point. Now let's go to the box below where it says VAL, and let's color that green. So this is value low. This means price is at a discount. Usually when price gets to that point, it'll bounce up from there.
Oh,
Uh,
this is what you mentioned last time. You said like when it like the top and the bottom, it will bounce off of it.
yeah,
That's okay.
usually it typically does. It isn't always like sometimes because so every time a candle closes, the value
Mhm.
high adjusts. So like
Mhm.
once it's established and you can kind of see where where it's pretty much established,
Mhm.
then it'll probably stay there. But if usually it's going to move every time a candle closes.
Mhm. So is this one different from like Asia High? Because I know there's other ones, or it is different, right?
Yeah, it's different. So this is just depending on the current volume, like whatever is like the orders that are being filled in the market. This is what's going to move with price. Like basically when orders come in, the
Mhm.
Asia high and the Asia low is going to be like the highest price during Asia session and the lowest price during Asia session.
Mhm.
And then because Asia session is like between 2 o'clock until about 10 o'clock p.m.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like it's just a different session. Like right now, it's going to be Australia market's going to open at about 3 o'clock, and then that's going to run for like about 8 hours or so. And then Japan market is going to open up at 4 o'clock, and that's about till about 10 o'clock. And then at midnight, our time, that's when
Mhm.
London market opens up, and that runs for about like 10 hours or so. And then
Mhm.
in the morning at 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., that's where our New York market opens up. So
Oh, okay.
that indicator just plots what the highs and lows are for those specific sessions, and those are considered red flags. These aren't considered red flags. This is just considered where price is over or is it's too expensive or where price is cheap at a discount.
Mhm. Okay, okay.
Um, so so basically you can use this as a confluence. So like say for example, if you were to take and you can click OK.
Okay.
You could probably rename this chart. So like, so where you called it MP, yeah, click that and then rename it. It's going to be under where it says make a copy. There you go, rename. And you can probably just call this volume profile or VP. Yeah, volume profile, and you put like 1 minute, or you just leave volume profile because you only do like one time frame for this anyways. There
So
you
leave it
go.
like that.
Yeah. So now you know that this is where your volume profile is at.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's going to be uh for this, you want to keep it zoomed out. See how
Oh,
you
keep it zoom. Oh yeah.
see how you zoom in and it adjusts.
Yeah.
So you want to keep it super zoomed out. So just go to the bottom where it says or go to the bottom where you can reset the chart. It's like down the middle.
Mhm.
There you go.
This one.
Yeah, just click on that. And there.
Also, I'll just leave it.
Yeah, so I don't touch it. I just leave it at that so that it shows as many candles on the chart, but like not where it's like super small, right? Like where you can
Mhm.
actually see everything.
Yeah. Oh no, I see. I can see it.
Yeah. And then I usually just leave it alone. I don't touch it. So
Mhm.
like what I'm looking for is I'm looking for bounces off those lines, right? So typically whenever price gets to that red line up top,
Yeah.
it tends to push back to the middle. So see that white line that you have on your chart?
Yeah.
That's the point of control. That's like usually where the most of the volume is. So
Mhm.
that's where what's considered fair value. So like that's the price point where all the traders in the market consider it to be fair. Like that's where
Mhm.
price should be. It's not always going to come there. Obviously, you can see over there like before it goes down to that green line, which is the value low. And
Yeah.
whenever it gets to that point, it's like okay, a lot of traders or whoever's in the market identifies this as a discounted price. And that's usually where they buy because they're expecting price to come back to that white line that you have in the middle.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, but you're using this as confluence. You're not really looking to see where price goes. You're just looking for price to bounce off these specific lines here. So like, for example, if you're taking a sell, you'd like to see some rejections off the top point, right? So you want
Mhm.
price to kind of come to those lines and then bounce off the top end of it and come back down further. Or then vice versa, if you're looking for buys, you want to see price to kind of bounce off on the bottom end, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of just it acts as a range. So like this kind of just marks up the profile for volume, and
Mhm.
you're looking to see if there's confluences where price bounces off. Like you're just looking for bounce points.
Okay, so you're just basically looking for the range of where it's at.
Exactly, because then if you're taking a sell, you want to make sure that price is actually going in your direction, and you're not kind of just taking a random sell.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be the volume profile. Let's go back up to where you created a new layout. Let's do another one, and then you can call this uh, price levels. All right. So for this one over here, go to or let's close the volume indicator again. That's just always going to come up by default. And then let's go to your indicators and we'll go to your invite only scripts. And then we will go to MPS levels. All right. So now that you have this, let's go to your settings. And then let's go to inputs. Put number at levels 20 and change levels range to 50. And you probably want to change your line color to like maybe white so you can see a little better, or gray, whatever you like. Yeah, if it's too
Oh
bright,
yeah, yeah, I'll put that.
whichever you like to see the lines on the chart.
I'll probably put this one.
Okay, cool. So let's see, and then change the or yeah, change your line style to solid.
Line style solid.
Yeah, it's easier to see that way. Okay,
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
and then now you can click OK. Okay, so this one you can zoom in on. This one is okay, it's gonna stay as is. So what this does is this marks up lines at whole numbers basically. So like what you set it to is basically at every 50 points, it's gonna mark up lines. So same thing with this, I'm looking for bounces, right? So if you zoom in a little bit, you can see kind of like where price bounces off these price points.
Yeah.
The reason why this is important because there are certain traders who trade that look at whole numbers, like they think these are psychological numbers. So that's why, like, like I said, we're using these different tabs to identify different strategies that people are using to use confluence for our entries.
Mhm.
So like, see right, like if you just kind of eyeball it, you can kind of see where price bounces off the whole numbers, and
Yeah.
it kind of comes down from that area, right? Like it'll like break and retest, or like you'll see the nice wick kind of just bounce off it and it pushes away from it. So
Mhm.
like basically, if you're looking for a sell, you want to see some bounces off the top end, right? And then
Mhm.
vice versa, if you're looking for a buy, you want to see bounces off the lower end.
Mhm.
So again, this is like another confluence where you're just going to be looking for the bounces. you're not necessarily looking for anything specific. You're just looking for balances. So like if you're looking for a sell, you want to make sure that confluences are pushing to the upside or to the downside, and then vice versa for buys, you want to see it bouncing to the upside.
Okay, okay. So these one just is like whole numbers. You said it's by 50, correct?
Yeah, it's by 50. If the market's super volatile, you just change it to 100, but on average, like 50 should be the good number because you're looking for basically the whole numbers of 50, like basically like 100, 150, 200, like those types of whole numbers, because that's like where a lot of people try to trade at, or they like to trade bounces from those points.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we got this now. You have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so let's open one more last one. And for this one, you can call it support and resistance. Okay, so let's close out the volume again. And let's go to your indicators. Go to your invite only. And then click the K2 SRV2. Let's go to your settings for this indicator. Change line length to 2000. And should be good. So click OK. There we go. So the way that I use this is I just use this to identify structure. So again, I like to like use this to identify bounces. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit. I'll show you how to draw the zones on your chart. So there you go. You're good right there. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, I think we're good right there. So you can go from top to bottom. There's no specific levels that you should be marking up every time. It's just whatever makes sense to you. And this is where your analysis and your ability to kind of read things are going to come into play. This is where you kind of have your own style when you're identifying rejection points. Support resistance are like typically bounce areas as well. This is where people identify like multiple bounces. What this indicator does is it plots specific areas where there's been more than two bounces at the same exact price. So let's go over to your rectangle tool on the right side. I think you already have it on your short term. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, and you already have the magnet tool. So look on the top. We'll go from top to bottom. So let's yeah, go from that top and then just kind of fill in where that thing is. Let's go to the body of the first green candle. So the top of the body, you basically want to fill in that top of the body. So
Oh wait, sorry.
the first candle that you marked up,
Yeah.
you're basically trying to line it up with that box there.
Mhm.
So you're a little too low. See where the box is going to the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little higher. You just want to cover that box.
Wait, this?
Yeah, so go to that green candle, the first green candle, and go to the top of that body. Like a little bit, the same one that you started the
Yeah. Okay, okay.
no, so to the left of it. Yeah, but go up. So there, yeah, but go to like see what like
Oh, I didn't even see it.
yeah.
Okay.
If you need to zoom in, you can zoom in more. It's
Uh-huh.
fine. Yeah, there you go. So you basically want to line it up with that. Okay, now just click there, and then double click on that box on the rectangle. Now let's do a extend right and extend left. There you go.
Oh, I seen you do this. I
Yeah,
think you
exactly.
always do extend left, correct?
You can do both. Yeah, I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's fine. You can do both because it's going to extend across the screen. So yeah, let's do that. And then now let's do it again with that other red one below it. See, you're basically, you want to draw like clean boxes on the chart so that you can turn off the indicator and then it'll just stay on the chart for
So
you.
make another rectangle.
Yeah, because see how it's kind of messy right now with the indicator?
Yeah, I was I'm kind of confused on this one. This one's
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to learn this over time. You're just going to understand where to put the boxes. So again, let's go to that red box on the left side. See where it starts?
right here.
No, it's higher. So see where the red box is?
Oh, right. Okay, right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah, so you can start from there. You're basically just filling in. You're like tracing in because the box is already there for you. You're just going over it.
Why is it doing that?
There you go.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's because you have the magnet tool. So you have to go to the top.
Oh, Oh,
So
something. Oh, so I'll remove this one.
is it still active? It's still active, yeah. So go to the top of that wick right there. Go to your left. There you go. Wait. No, go to the top of the wick. There you go. And then you place it there. So you see where the rejection points are?
Yeah. So it
The-
just
the
bounce
wick.
it up right here.
Yeah, exactly. So like now let's now go to that green box right there. See the green box below it?
Mhm.
You can do that one or you can do the other one above it. So there's two options here. This is where like your ability to kind of just read things on your own are
Mhm.
gonna take place. So like, yeah, if you think this one is better, you'll draw from there. Perfect. And then now zoom out a little bit or go to your right or your left, sorry. Your left right there. See where that red one is now?
Oh, right here. Mhm.
Yeah. So like so whenever they overlap like that, you just have to choose which one you want to use, right?
Mhm.
So again, you can draw that again. Go from that top. It starts from that red candle. It'll go from left to right. There you go. Go from the top and then go down to the body. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then, yeah, from right here, you can kind of choose. So if you just want to choose a bigger box, like if you go to your left a little bit, so you probably don't want to use that bigger box. That's like a huge box right
Oh
there.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So you probably would ignore that, and then you can draw the smaller ones that are within it. So see right there, there's a green one that's
This
closer to
one.
yeah, like that one. Let's scroll to your right a little bit.
Oh.
Oh, you're fine. You could delete that if you want. You just click anywhere and then click delete. There you go. Yeah, let's
Mhm.
go to your right a
Should
little
I?
bit. I think there's another yeah, so there's two right there. See how there's a red one right there?
Yeah. This one.
Yeah, so you can draw that one first. It's easier to go from top to bottom so you don't miss any. Yeah, there you go.
Here.
Yeah, I think so that's good. And
Mhm.
then you can do that green one now on the left side. There you go. And then let's go to your left. Or I guess you could so right here. Let's go a little farther to your left because you have two options here. So you can see how there's about like three of them right there. So
Mhm.
there's that big red one, or not huge, but it's like it's right on the left of you. It's right there. You can either choose that one or you can choose a green one in the middle. See there's a green one in the middle,
Yeah.
or you can do both. It's up to you if you want to do both or if you want to just do one. You can choose one or you can do both.
Mm, trying to think what's the best.
And so here's the thing, like you can draw both, and then once you're done, you can always delete one. Like
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, because we're gonna clean this up after.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this one all the way to here,
Yeah,
and then this green one.
yeah. And if you want to change the color of the boxes, you can, but if you like this color, it's fine. It's just up to preference.
Mm,
Okay, now let's go over to your K2 SR indicator, and then let's
oh,
hide yeah, right. Yeah, just click on the I button next to it. There you go, click it. And then click the zoom out button or the reset button on the bottom middle.
oh, okay, okay.
So see how like it's a lot cleaner now because before it was all kind of messy.
Yeah.
And you drew your own levels there. So now like let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so zoom in a little more and then we can kind of see where those bounces happen. See how price bounces off the
Oh, yeah, I see.
yeah, so it marks up structure. You basically you can mark up structure. A lot of people do this by hand, but you can only imagine how long it would take, right? If you're to go and just kind of figure out where the lines are at, uh,
Yeah.
basically traces them on the chart for you, and then all you do is you kind of just fill them in.
Whoa, I'm not gonna lie. Like the way you broke it down, it just made so much sense to me. Like I see exactly what you're saying now.
Yeah, because you want it to be cleaner, right? Because earlier it was all
Yeah.
messy. Now it's super clean, and you're like, now you can see structure. It's like you
Mhm.
basically you drew all these boxes, but the algorithm kind of just plotted them on for you. And you just kind of traced over it.
Mhm. Yeah, at
So
first I didn't know what I was looking at, but now I feel like doing all this, it makes so much sense.
exactly. So let's zoom out a little bit. And if you go to the left, you can see how price respects it. Let's go farther to the left. See how it respects it.
Yeah.
See, like you already have structure from like way over there. That's why it's cool if you extend it all the way to the left and extend it all the way to the right because you can see how price respects it. It kind of creates a story.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like you know how you have those boxes right there. If you go like so let's zoom out a little more. Like see on the top right there where it kind of bounces off at the same price point.
Yeah.
Now that you have that box there, if you go over to your right, so see right there, you
Oh yeah, I do see
can
it.
yeah, see? So it kind of gives you a little cheat code to identify where the bounces may happen. So if you see those bounces and you have a sell entry, then it gives you like that opportunity to have confidence with like, okay, if I take a sell here, it's bouncing off this high point where it bounced like earlier, it's
Mhm.
odds of it coming down further from there are likely.
Uh-huh. Oh, so it gives you an idea. Okay, I get it now. Okay, that's why. So I understand now why you use like other screens to like see like the confluences. So now I see what you're looking at.
Exactly, yeah, because like so now that you have these tabs open, these are all different strategies. We're not following them as strategies, but we're looking at them as a confluence. So like if you know if someone who only trades support and resistance is identifying a sell, and then let's go to the tab on your the tab right before, and then you see a whole number there. There's a rejection right there too. You're like, okay, this is another strategy, and they're also seeing that there's a rejection from there. And then you go
Mhm.
over to your and the next one, and you're like, oh, and now there's a rejection right there too. And you're like, okay, for sure, if this is happening then the cells here are going to be a good sell, right?
Mhm. So it's just like you're just checking your box before you enter.
Exactly, because you already have your strategy that you're following, and then you're using these confluences as a confirmation. Like you
Mhm.
just want to know, you want to be confident, you want to be sure that price is going to come down from there.
Oh, I understand. I understand it now. I get it.
Yeah, it's a little cheat code, dude. Like that's why
Oh, that's
that's why a lot of
crazy.
our that's why we have such a good win rate because I'm checking off on like multiple strategies. It's not just like one strategy. The one strategy is the MPSV2, but then
Mhm.
I'm looking at everything else here. I'm like making sure that other people are on our side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that's the whole gist of it.
Mhm.
You know, that's why I always tell people like it doesn't matter what strategy you apply, if you have these confluences or you're following the proper confluences, the odds of your trade hitting are very likely because you know you're basically putting all of the probability on your side.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Yeah, because basically at this point you have like a super strategy because you have your own strategy, plus you're confirming with like four or five other strategies that everybody's looking at the same thing. So if
Mhm.
everybody's looking at the same thing, the odds of it playing out are likely, right?
Mhm.
Because the odds are in your favor.
It's cool. So never move this one. This is the chart you don't want to move.
Yeah, volume profile, you don't want to move it because again, like let's zoom in a little bit, even in just a little bit, and then
Oh
it'll
yeah, it does just change.
yeah, so yeah, if you just zoom in a little bit, it's going to adjust on you. And you don't want that because you want to see like the volume. Because what happens is it only calculates the volume of like what's on your chart. So
Yeah.
like see how you have all these candles on your chart?
Mhm.
Now let's zoom in a little bit, like zoom in a lot actually. See how it's just these candles right here?
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then it changes, right? And you're like, okay, this is kind of useless because you don't care what's happening right here. You care what's been happening for the entire day.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, yeah, I see.
And then you zoom out and then it looks a lot better, right? Because
Yeah.
you have so much data on the chart.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna help tomorrow. Cause I know I'm gonna still look at your screen, but I want to like understand it myself too.
Oh,
So
of
yeah,
course,
this is
yeah,
definitely gonna help.
yeah. That's why I was telling you, you know, like there's like it's like baby steps, bro. It's like I'm showing you how to do this on. Well, at first I showed you the strategy. Now that you
Mhm.
understand the strategy, you can now look at confluences. Now that you have
Mhm.
confluences, you can put them all together now, right? Like at this
Mhm.
point, you're taking leaps. It's like we're building your foundation so that you understand the strategy at least, and then from there, it's like okay, we're gonna add this confluence and this confluence and this confluence, and then in the future, you're gonna be so confident that you can start learning the other strategy if you want to at some point in the future as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I also wrote down this one specific trade. I didn't take I was just watching it, but I was like iffy on it. I wrote down this trade. Hold on. How do I go back to it? April. It was April 8th.
April 8th. Okay. So a while back. Last week. I think that was
I have to like drag it or I could type it. I haven't have to drag it.
uh so you can type it on the replay function if you want to pull it up that way. Do you know the exact time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. So go right there on the bottom. I think there so go to the drop down next to it and you can select date, yeah.
time was 7:18. 7:15. Wait, seven. It was like right here. Wait, there's like nothing here.
Let's see.
It was like right here. And I was like thinking about taking a trade, like just like it was just like based off what I was gonna do. And then it ended up hitting, but I was like, I'm not sure what happened. I'm trying to remember what happened, but I wrote it down because I even wrote the TP. I did 75 on this one.
718. You for a buy? Yeah, buy, right?
I think it was a buy, yes. Wait, let me see.
Yeah, because for me, I just don't see an entry right there at 718.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw something, then it might have just been what you considered like a setup. But so I'm looking at it right here. There was an MPSV2, but it happened super early. It was like at 6:55.
Uh, Wait,
So
can I see your screen? Sorry.
oh yeah, of course.
Wait, how do I put up that my screen? Oh, there you go.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So the MPSV2 happened right here on this candle. We had a buy signal, retracement, confirmation right there. So this is where the MPSV2 came up. That's one entry. The other entry would be A plus plus setup, which would have been right here.
Mhm.
The ATR is like at 70, so probably up a little lower.
Yeah, I think this is the first day I was doing favor trading, and then I just was trying to like base off my knowledge at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, because your entry is over here at 718, right? So um I mean I don't see any specific entries over here.
Uh-huh.
Uh were you looking for an MPSV2 or did you see something else?
I'm not sure. I'm not honestly sure, but it's just probably just what I was thinking at that time.
Yeah, you probably just you were looking at the chart and you thought price was going to go up, but
Yeah,
for me specifically, I just don't see any entries here that because the MPSV2 happens like way earlier at
way
6.
earlier. Yeah.
So like what I would have been waiting for here is I would have waited for a sell signal to come up, which happened right here,
Mhm.
and then I would have started looking for a sell at this point. But from here, this is pretty much like dead period for me because there's no other entries that I would have been looking for at this point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
I get it. Okay.
It's all good. I mean, it was one of your first entries that you spotted, so like you probably were just like you just wanted to take a buy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes like like if you don't have a strategy that you're specifically following, you kind of play your mind kind of plays tricks on you because you're like you see a big candle, you're like, oh, I want to continue climbing that up, but a lot of times it doesn't go up. Like
Yeah.
it'll check and reverse on you.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was the only one I wrote.
Yeah, because I'm looking over here.
Oh,
There was
it dropped down that much?
Yeah, so there's no sell entry right here because there was a sell signal, price retraced up, and it never came back down. And then there's no buy entry here because there's a buy signal, price retraced right here, it never came back up. Right here, there was a sell signal, retracement, and then it came back down right here. So the entry for this was the next entry that came up, which was at 741. Because we had a sell signal, retracement, and then on this candle, it finally broke and closed below the black line.
Uh-huh.
And this is where the actual entry would happen
And that's where
for,
you would want to enter. Okay, okay.
yeah. So this one over here would have been the next MPS, the next actual entry.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So there's a big gap in between right here.
Man. And then when it dropped that low, was that like did it happen within seconds or was it minutes?
So this big candle came down right here, and then these were each candle is a minute candle. So this one was
Oh,
one,
okay.
this was one, so about 3 minutes for it to come down
Okay.
right there. But it continuously dropped down. Like it was like every candle was kind of coming down a little more.
Uh-huh. So you could have extended it if you wanted to, but that's tricky though.
Yeah, yeah, you could have went down further, but because the sessions is right here, like
Yeah.
talked about earlier, this is where manipulation tends to happen.
Mhm.
So I would probably not take it that far.
No, of course.
There was a couple people in the group who did take this trade though, but they cut out right here, right before the sessions. There was about I think like 4 people in the group who took this trade right here.
Mhm.
It was during the live session time, so they identified it, and I told people like, oh, this is kind of risky because it's gonna have to cut into the sessions. So I told people like, because I think the CP stop loss was like 70-70. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna take this trade, just cut down your TP a little smaller, like maybe 60 or maybe 65, and then get out before it reaches that point.
Mhm. Okay. I think I'm gonna log into my Trade-O-Vate, so I'll have it ready by tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, click on your trading panel right here, and then just click your trade evade, and then
And it's
log.
demo, correct?
Yes, download. Yeah, it keeps you logged in for about like 24 hours, so you should be good by tomorrow. Usually for me, I have to log out and then log back in because I log in the morning.
Uh-huh.
So if you log in right now, it should be good tomorrow. But like I think every 24 hours it kicks you out and you just have to log back in.
Okay. Save credentials. Save. Okay, so okay, I'm in now.
Perfect.
I'm kind of okay. Honestly, no, I'm confident. I'm not even there. I'm confident.
Yeah, especially now that you have the extra tabs open.
Yeah.
And you can analyze it yourself. Like the thing is, it's cool because you can analyze it yourself, but you can also listen to me and I'll confirm as well. So if I
Mhm.
say there's bounces on this area and you say it in your head, you're like, oh, there's bounces here too, then you'll feel even more confident about your entry when you decide to take it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, I'm more confident for sure.
Yeah, and now you kind of have an idea. You're not kind of just trading randomly, right? You're not doing
Yeah.
plans. You're kind of looking at stuff now. So like you're like, okay, you're gonna make sure there's bounces and stuff like that. Like even if you're not even following the MPSV2 and you're like, oh, I think this is gonna come down. You can look at your confluences and you're like, oh, if there's bounces from the top side, then the price is probably gonna come down.
Uh,
Like you can just be trading off the fly and you're like, okay, this looks like it's gonna bounce off this area. And
uh,
then you'll probably, price will probably bounce off that area and continue coming down from there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy, this is crazy. All right, tomorrow is gonna be a for sure a big day.
Yeah, bro. No, for sure. And you get better every week. I mean, this is a good thing, right? Because like you went from knowing nothing about trading and it's been like 2, 3 weeks now, and you're getting
Yeah.
like every week you're just improving and improving and improving.
Uh,
Confidence is getting better. So like this is the whole this is what we planned for, right?
uh,
For you to start from zero and then now your confidence is at an all-time high and
mhm.
you're just gonna keep getting better and better and better each week.
Perfect. Yeah. So you recommend just doing one contract and doing 60?
Yeah, so listen to my analysis on the live session tomorrow because I'll check the ATR. If the
Uh-huh.
ATR is good for 60, we'll use 60. If not, then we'll kind of adjust it a little bit. You probably want to sit tight maybe the first 10 minutes of open,
Yeah.
just to make sure that the market kind of stabilizes a bit. But then once we have like that number in mind, you can probably use that. And I'll try to give a heads up to everybody, you know, when it comes time.
Mhm.
Because
Okay, perfect.
it's kind of we don't know we don't have an idea yet of how it's gonna move, but like looking at the market right now, like right now the market's open.
Mhm.
I can have an idea that like okay the ATR is low, so it looks like we're going back to normal market. So it'll probably
Mhm.
be 30 and 60.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah. So for next week, yeah, I can't meet on Monday, but so the days that I can meet next week would be the 20th, which is Sunday. I don't know if you want to meet on a Sunday. Probably not.
I think I'm gonna be in SoCal. Yeah.
Okay, so we can probably meet on the 24th, which is Thursday,
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
or if you want to do Friday the 25th, I mean that could work too. It's just really up to your preference. Those
Yeah,
are
we
the
could
two.
do Thursday.
Okay, cool. So I'll just put you on the calendar now. Same time, 2 o'clock, or do you
Yeah,
want?
we could do 2 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, it's perfect time for me. All right, cool. So I got you on the calendar for Thursday, and hopefully by then you'll have a couple wins under your belt, and then
Mhm.
we'll have more to cover.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, that's like what, 10 days from now?
yeah,
Yeah, that
it
should
is.
be fine.
Yeah, and it's perfect that you took a timestamp of your trade. So like in the future, I think that's probably where you're gonna learn the most
Mhm.
is you'll once you have like a list of like entries, I think that's gonna make improvements because you can kind of learn and understand like where you went wrong or where you went right. And then
Mhm.
that's where you're gonna just get more and more confident with your entries and your the entries that you're starting to identify on your own.
Mhm. Yeah, no, thanks so much, Sean. I learned so much today, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I understand it a lot more. And I got some questions that I needed and you answered them all. So it's perfect.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think now that you understand how to drop the SRs, I think that's gonna make a huge game changer for you too. So you
Uh-huh.
have a storyline on your chart.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, if you have any other questions, bro, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, tomorrow's your big day, bro.
And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.